absolutely fascinating conversation with the Labour representative, Councillor Martin Abrams, earlier, who apparently is absolutely convinced that the idea that trans-identified male prisoners will ever be put into women's prisons is entirely hypothetical. Well, Keep Prison Single Sex, organisation we've spoken to a number of times on the show, they have official documentation providing freedom of information. In 2022, there were 230 prisoners in the UK estate who claimed a trans identity. 187 were male. What a surprise, the majority were male. In addition, 11 prisoners had a gender recognition certificate, therefore count as legally female. Between 8 and 10 of those males were in the female prisons. Between 14 and 16 male prisoners in female prison cells with other women. I mean, it's just extraordinary. Tom Slater, editor of Spiked Online, I used you as an example as a man. Yeah. No, don't be rude about 6'3" bloke, 6'4" bloke saying I'm just going to sign under this new law, and it's bad enough as a law as it is, in my view. But Labour just simply don't take this issue seriously, do they?
No, they clearly don't. And it's not as if this has been a secret. There have been reports in the mainstream press about this particular issue. There was the case of Karen White a few years ago, not his real name, who was sent to prison, very violent and including sexually violent past, and yet is still able to sexually assault 2 women whilst in prison. And this was in the Guardian newspaper.
No, it's a hypothetical.
And that was in England as well, because that sometimes people have thought that this was only a Scottish issue because of self-ID being kind of trialled in their prisons before they brought the self-ID law to the table. This has been going on for a very long time, because even without self-ID being the law of the land, it has kind of already seeped into our institutions. Even in the places in which you've got the most vulnerable women in society, i.e. those in prison. And they've just been treated as basic lab rats for this idea.
And also, anyone who speaks up on this issue is you've got unhealthy. We've had this with J.K. Rowling. You've got an unhealthy obsession with genitals, which are no. All women are very aware that the biggest single threat to them will be a male. The trouble is, we don't know which males are a danger to us, and the ones who want to go into women's toilets are definitely the ones we're worried about the most. Because most guys who aren't a threat to us don't try and look at us when we're on the loo or changing our clothes in a changing room. Funny that, isn't it? Let's go.